It's been a year in the making. Without any further ado, the Apollo Explorer V2. So it's been a while because we changed pretty much everything about this scooter. There's a better suspension, better battery, better folding, better headset, better geometry, better fenders. So there's a lot to cover today, and we're gonna tackle it just the same way we always tackle it, starting from the back and working our way up to the stem. So if we look at the back, the first thing you notice is the new fender here. The fender shape is basically the same, but the way that it's attached to the body, we took the same fender bracket as the Pro and tried to follow the same lines as well, so it just looks a lot more sporty and integrated. So you have those beautiful fender brackets here, and then the obvious change is the suspension arm as well. On this one, we included a rear suspension built in the frame, which was a big point of feedback from our previous video. People want dual suspension, and of course, because of that, we needed to change the suspension arms as well. So you have those two beautifully machined pieces of aluminum with, again, rubber cap on both the motor nut and the suspension axle here. They will go around the body, and the first thing you notice on the body is also the key ignition. The key ignition is not to start the scooter, it's to remove the battery. A lot of people shared their concern before about leaving the scooter outside and people just pressing on the button and leaving with the battery, which is fair. We tried to do an integrated lock with an electric actuator that you could pop in and out with the app, but there was not enough space with that rear suspension we added. So between a suspension and an integrated electronic lock, I chose the suspension, and I think everybody's gonna agree with me here. We have the rear light as well with the charging port in the middle to charge it when the battery is inside the scooter, but you can also charge the battery when it's outside, and we're gonna see this a bit later. The way that we can fold the scooter when it's folded down to lock it to the body also completely changed. That basically you have a button and a latch going inside the body. So this is the new button that you have here. It's no longer to remove the battery like it was previously. Then we have the platforms. The platforms are basically the same but a bit stronger, and the way we do the wiring inside for the lights is also a lot cleaner and will last a lot longer. So here you can see we have the classic flap of the Explorer that you can unfold, and again the Explorer is for your feet to stand sideways. So it's a completely different riding experience, but just as good. If we continue, you have the IoT and GPS here that we saw is so valuable for all the Pro Beta users. People love it, and I love it too because it's a peace of mind. I can leave my scooter without locking it outside, and even if somebody steals it, I know I'm gonna be able to retrieve it. So this is so valuable for us moving forward. In the front, we changed the swing arm here and the suspension arm, completely different shape, but also the suspension inside. On the previous one, it was an hydraulic, not adjustable one, like on the V4 of the Pro. Now we put the same one as the Pro, so it's a D&M fully adjustable suspension, and this one is orange, so it matched with the rest of the aesthetic, so really love that. And the swing arm, we beefed it up a bit, but we were able to shave at some places to save weight. Same thing for the front about the fender bracket. It's following the lines, and it's a lot more sporty and integrated than previously. This scooter is a dual motor, like any other new scooters we're gonna release, and I love this. The acceleration on the scooter is insane. It's on par with the Pro. If we go up, well, we revised the whole geometry of the right angle of the stem. You can see it's a lot more back now, tilted. And we use that opportunity to redesign the stem, the folding, and everything that you see here. It looked a lot more integrated when you look at it from the front. Before it was kind of out of place. The stem really was not fitting with the front of the neck, and now it's really a beautiful line that goes up. We have the new folding mechanism here, the same as the Pro, the same as the Go, the same as the Air and the CD23, and that's just the best one we've designed so far, so it was an obvious choice to put it back on the Explorer. So really easy to open, and when you open it, to lock it to the deck, well, you have your little latch here, and it's gonna go right inside the body, like this, and then you can lift it and carry it. And to unlock it, well, you simply press on the button here and pull it up. Voila. So super clean and a lot more integrated than before, and it's going to cause less problem as well. On the V1, you had a big hook sticking out here, and you had another hook attachment coming out here, so it was not very aesthetically pleasing and not very practical as well. And the other major difference with the stem is the front LED. All those diffusers that you see here are 3D printed. So that's why the opacity is not very good. Well, it's painted. So they print a transparent diffuser and then they paint it with white paint to give that little opacity feeling, that it's not see-through. So that's going to change, and it's going to be the same as the Pro when it's finalized. But this one is larger, and I was able to put the LED light deeper inside the stem, so you don't see any dot as well. It's super smooth, and it just looks really good. Then we have the headset. Those cable wrapping here is just something we tried, but it's not going to be like that. I don't like it. You have the two cable for the two drum brakes. You have the Hall sensor in the brake handle. So if you press just a little bit on the brake handle, it's going to put a little bit of regen. If you press all the way, it's going to apply the maximum regen. So that's great to have that variable regen brake handle here. And you can see that the headset completely changed compared to before. The headset on the V1 was the same as the Pro V4 and V3. This one, we decided to go for something a lot more compact to fit with, well, the compact size of the rest of the scooter. So this one is the same as the Go, but the main difference is that this one has wireless charging, while the Go only have a quad lock, but not wireless charging. This scooter utilizes the Mach 1 controller, so we're able to put a little bit more power towards the wireless charging or even the lights. So that's the main difference. The light is also more powerful in the front, same as the Go, and we were able to fit a bigger one because we have more space here. On the final sample, everything's going to be gray. There won't be any black part on the headset. I really do prefer when everything is gray, it looks more integrated, just like the latest sample of the Go that we got. Same thing, dot display. It's the best one we released so far. There is no reflection on it. It's the same principle as traffic lights. It's a bunch of dots that will basically fight against reflection. We have our V8 throttle here. They're beautiful. We have little caps that are integrated to the brake handle as well to bring everything closer. And at the end, well, we have the integrated turn signal, which you know from all our models. The other really cool thing, well, it's how the battery is being pulled out of the body. To remove the battery, I simply put the key inside. I'm gonna turn it, and you're gonna see it's gonna pop out like this. And this is a battery. Very integrated and very clean. And you can see there is no longer any button here sticking out. It's just a block of plastic. That's going to be ABS plastic, super solid. And you can also charge it when it's outside of the scooter, which was very important for us. You have all the pins in the front for the power, but the smart BMS as well. So you're going to be able to get advanced health diagnostic from the scooter and the battery. So that's fantastic for us, the customer service at Apollo, but also for you as a customer. You can go straight in the app and look where your battery is at health-wise. And what I was mentioning about the e-bike system. Now we put two pins with springs that are mounted completely in a different way. It's inside the body, there's two of them, and it's super stiff. So the rattling will basically never happen because the battery itself is super snug inside the body, but you also have those springs always pushing on it. So it's always going to remain tight. And if you ever need to replace those springs, they're super easy to replace. And we're going to add a waterproof solution. It's going to be all rubber around those connectors that's going to go inside the body. So that's going to be great. The other big piece of feedback we got from the V1, which we were already expecting, was that the V1 was 52 volt 8 Ah the battery. So that's not a ton of capacity. But at first we're like, you know, maybe we just include two batteries in the box and people have a 16 Ah, and being 52 volt, you just have a lot more watt hour than something that is 36 volt 8 Ah. It's completely different. But we decided to see what type of battery could we fit inside the body if we were to flip up the cell in the enclosure. There was going to be a little bump like this. We call it like the camel bump, you know? And that's what it looks like. So it actually looked quite good. I think I prefer when it's sticking out like this. And that allows us to have 52 volt 15 Ah, so basically double the capacity. Those are 21750E Samsung, super high discharge, super high capacity, and you can charge them really fast as well. This whole battery pack you can charge in 2.5 hours, 3 hours, depending on your charger. So far, we've been getting around 40 kilometers of range on one battery. So you can imagine that having one battery like this in your scooter and one in your backpack, you have a 52 volt 30 Ah, which is now the same as the Pro, which we are doing 100 kilometers with it. Because we have more capacity, I was able to put more discharge for the controller. So now the acceleration, like I was mentioning, is ridiculous. It's pushing, like it's insane. It's pushing too much. But we like that. We prefer playing with the top speed maybe, but giving you that crazy acceleration that's going to get you ahead in traffic in front of the cars. And to put it back, it's quite simple. I just take it, put it here. It's going to fit. And for now, you need to press and then turn the key to lock it in. On the final sample, you're just going to be able to press the battery and it's going to be locked in. And we're also going to be adding small LEDs on the battery case itself, so you can see the battery level without having to put it inside the scooter and then check with the mobile app or the dot display or the front LED. The other thing that we change is where the controller is on that scooter. We have the controller here. This is a Mac 1, but it's a Mac 2 controller, but it's just a casing that is blue on this one. And we have the kickstand that was greatly improved too. We took the same system as the Apollo Pro, the hinge mechanism with the spring, and apply it to the Explorer, so now it's a lot stiffer, like this. It feels better, it's going to stay up, it won't rattle, and it's going to last for years to come. And a small thing that for this one I tried from the start to do is extending the fender beyond the swing arm. So it's going under the swing arm here, and that will basically block 100% of the water. So the last thing here is the integrated rear suspension. As you can see, this one is completely invisible. You don't see any spring from outside. It's basically just you see the swing arm that you can guess is moving because of the shape. So it's a cartridge inside the body, and you have an X pattern that's going to compress for bushing and always going to bring it back to its starting point, which is flat like this. And the other thing we added is bearings inside the suspension. So here on each side you have two massive bearings that just makes the whole thing so much smoother. You can imagine not having bearings, it's just bushing, it's going to work, but having bearings that help it move in the front and the back just offer, well, something super quiet. You don't hear any squeaking, and the responsiveness of the suspension is much more accurate and increased with bearing. Lastly, the turning signals. So this shape of scooters is quite unique, so the turning signals are also unique. So if we turn it on, I'm going to put the turning signal. They're starting from the back, the rear brake light flashing on one side. It's doing the motion around the footrest and here. So you are covered around 360 degrees around the scooter. You're going to see the turning signal. And the Explorer is already compatible with the app, so you can go in the app and change all the light colors to make it look however you want. All the lights, the sound, the alarm, the IoT, everything is already working right off the bat. So to give you an idea, this one, I'm going to change the light based on the Pro interface. You can see the body change. Same thing for the stem, and you have access to all the same crazy color that you have with the Pro. Really cool. I love this pink. Pink is my favorite color for the scooter to match with the gray. It looks really cyberpunk-esque. But yeah, love this. And again, for the stem, you can set it at a different color. You can do crazy things like this. And same thing for turning signal. You can change all of them within the app. The sound as well. Let's play with the horn. So now it's that bicycle bell. You can put a car horn, and you can put Kevin, one of our tech, screaming like this. So really nice. And that brings me to, well, where is the speaker on that scooter? Before it was in the headset, like the Pro, but now that we have the smaller headset, there's no space for speaker. So for this one, we decided to put it inside the neck under here. So it's completely hidden from the rain. You have the fender protecting it, you have the suspension and swing arm protecting it, and then it's there. So it's the waterproofness of this is excellent. And the sound, as you just heard, is still extremely loud. So really happy about that. And it's the same thing with the alarm. You can lock the scooter either by pressing 5 times on the power button. To unlock it, you're gonna need to do it with the app or the IoT. But if someone touch it,
theft detected. Auto destruction in 3, 2, 1. Hidden. Calling the police now.
And you can decide just a regular alarm also in the app. It looks final, it rides like a beauty. There's still some things we want to change. Starting from the back, like I mentioned, we want to try different stiffness of rubber inside the suspension to really find the sweet spot that will allow the maximum comfort, last a long time, and also adapt to the highest amount of weight. Then we have the platform themselves. When I stand on the scooter, I'm quite close to the headset because we put that right angle to be super stable. So now I have a super stable scooter that rides like a dream. But if I brake too hard, my stomach's gonna go hit the headset. And if I have the phone like this, it's gonna hit the phone, it's not good. So I don't wanna change the right angle because I want to keep the stability, and it's the same right angle on all our models, the new models, the Go, the Pro, the Explorer. So what we can do is move the platforms towards the back. So you're gonna stand a bit further from the headset, fixing this problem while keeping the stability of the scooter. So that's super easy to do. And even now, if you put your feet here, the front wheel is not lifting or anything like that, it's not spinning. So it's something we can do very easily. Then we have the batteries. We're gonna put the rubber to make it more waterproof at the connector level. So that's a little improvement, just in case there is water that gets inside. And for the headset, we're gonna tilt the throttle and the brake handle. That's something we are currently doing across all our models. All the new Air, all the new City, all the new Pros, they have a tilted throttle of 15 degrees and the brake handle as well. So it's more comfortable on the wrist because you're not as high like this to press on them. It's more natural. All those diffusers are gonna come from the mold, so it's gonna be a lot cleaner and more refined. The light's gonna shine through them a lot easier, so it's gonna be brighter. So is this scooter stable? No, it's not stable, it's ultra stable. It's the next level of stability. And I don't even go in the comment to say that this is dangerous or something. It's not. It's fantastic riding. It's better for your back to stand with your feet like this instead of always being curved, like a torsion on your back. And when you finish a ride of 20, 30, 40 kilometers, step up and this is the first thing you notice. You're like, damn, I feel so good. So there you have it. Let us know down below in the comment what you think. Again, if we should change anything, and we're gonna be sure to incorporate those changes in the V3 of the Explorer. Thank you.